Welcome to the Therapist on Fire podcast, where I interview leaders in allied healthcare, entrepreneurs, and those on the path to financial independence. In this episode, I interviewed Dr. Mike Chua, author, speaker, and certified dementia practitioner, who shared his tips for becoming a self-published author and course creator using virtual assistants to scale his business and building engagement through Facebook Live. Welcome to the Therapist on Fire podcast. I'm here with Dr. Mike Chua, who is a physical therapist, certified dementia practitioner, and also the author of MisUnderstanding Dementia. Wait, there's more. He's the Chief Inspirational Officer for TN Therapy Outsource. Welcome, Mike. I'm so glad to have you on this podcast.
Well, thank you very much, Emma. Appreciate you for having me in this podcast / video and this show. So thank you very much, Emma. Appreciate you.
Well, you are a man of many talents, but I want you to take us back to your story and how you thought of the idea to create your niche in helping people understand dementia.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. You mentioned about talents. I do have lots of talents. First I can sing and then dance and do some break dancing, but that's not what we're here for today. Just kidding. All right. What was the question again?
Breakdancing will be on the next podcast you're in. Well, basically share your story of how you became a certified dementia practitioner and how that launched you into your whole side business of helping people better take care of people with dementia.
That's a very good question. Me coming from a different country, I came here in America and they assigned me in a nursing home. And that nursing home actually had lots of dementia patients. And then when I got there, they were like never wanting to work with me. They didn't, it's like, gosh, they didn't want to see a foreigner like me. They didn't want to see a therapist. They didn't want to do anything. So I said, what is dementia? So I started researching and finally found that group called NCCDP and took their certification course, and the rest is history, and that's it. So I learned a lot, up until now. I may have that certification. I'm still learning, just earlier this day, I saw a 55-year-old early onset dementia, and it's just difficult to see a patient having that. You'll do all the techniques that but it's just really hard, especially for the caregivers. And then now I'm seeing that it's not just the patient who's suffering on this dreaded disease called dementia, even the family member. So that's when I started thinking, hey, how can I help also the caregivers, not just the patient? And that's when I started, writing some stuff, like a small manual, and then came up with a book. And now we have a short course called MisUnderstanding Dementia course. And now we're helping out other people, bring out the best, not only the patient, but also in the caregiver themselves. Just like you bring out the best in all these therapists wanting to be debt free.
Well, we all try our best to help the world and make the world better. Describe the process of becoming a certified dementia practitioner. What does that entail?
Oh, it's quite easy. It's not that bad, It's like a 2-day course that you go to, but I think now it's just a 1-day whole day course.
Okay.
When I did mine, it was like a 2-day course and a CADDCT, whatever you call that acronym, Certified Alzheimer's Disease Dementia Care Trainer. You have to attend that lecture of that certain trainer, so you could get the designation of CDP. And that's my next goal there, to be a certified dementia trainer, so I could also teach, therapists, nurses, and, CNAs and other family members to be a certified dementia practitioner, which is really good. It could be an added feature on our resume, and at the same time added extra service to our company that we're doing. So
Definitely. I could even see you, taking that and consulting with nursing homes and hospitals and training their staff on how to deal with patients with dementia, because I definitely feel like they have very unique characteristics and you need a very unique skill set to be able to treat someone with those symptoms.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Mhm.
So you created the book MisUnderstanding Dementia. How did you come up with the unique title? And then how did you just go about becoming a self-published author?
Well, we titled "Misunderstanding Dementia" because we always misunderstand dementia. It's just uh, difficult to understand it. I mean, I can't understand up until now. I still don't understand how it happens because majority of these diseases are what you call idiopathic. It's you don't know the cause. The patient I saw earlier that I mentioned to you, they don't know the cause. I asked the husband, "Hey, could it be vascular?" The doctor said no. He said, and could it be a chemical imbalance like delirium or depression? She said no. So it's just a very difficult disease to understand. So the other question you mentioned about how do we become an author, I have this group called 48 Days Group, and they push you to your next level. In that group, I think just by joining that group, I have like 3 books now that we're publishing, we published, and sometimes you just have to find a group that will bring out the best in you, and which like
I
this group.
exactly. No, I agree 100%. I think finding a mentor or just finding someone who can help keep you accountable is going to help skyrocket your success and make you
Mhm.
a better entrepreneur or better therapist. Because sometimes, we get so busy, we get so caught up, we forget and we need to push ourselves. And sometimes you just need someone to push you to that next level, or a group, like you were saying, or a mastermind, or just a friend or another therapist.
That's right.
Now, you also made a course on helping practitioners and family members take care of their loved ones with dementia. How did you describe how you made the course, how you came up with that, and any challenges you found when you were making the course?
You know what? I mean, everything we encounter a lot of challenges along the way, but there are a lot of different people. Some people they like seeing people talking right in front of you. Some people or client they want to be seen. They want to hear you in a podcast like this. Some clients or patients they want to see you in the video, like telehealth or whatever. And some clients they want to read a book. You want to see the actual book and hold it and then literally look at it. And some people they want to read it in a tablet like an ebook or something like that, which we also have. And some people they want to see a video course out of it. So having a business like that, having multiple different forms of information for your clients, I think that will be really good. So we have a book, a physical book, an ebook, or tablets and stuff like that. We conduct different live courses on the different nursing homes or assisted living, and of course the actual course. So that's the
Yeah,
value of the mastermind. They'll teach you that.
no, I think you're right. You've done a great job of scaling your business. You had this great idea to help people understand and treat dementia. You created a book first, correct? It was the book first?
It was the book first.
So you
It
created
was
the book, and then basically the book was your textbook. It was your guideline. And
yeah.
then you probably just broke down exactly what you did in the book in the
Mhm.
course. And there you go. And then those same topics, those same skills, you can give to someone if they need that one-on-one hand holding and more personalized information or questions. So it's like really you only need to hone down on one niche, one really massively important idea, and then you can scale that and create many different resources from
That's
that.
right.
Yeah,
That's right.
that
That's
is
right. Mhm.
that is very, very smart of you. Now, because you've done so many different things, the book, the course, give us a little tip on tech. What kind of tech are you using? Anything you'd recommend for a new entrepreneur trying to get into making a course or for self-publishing?
You know what? It's my foreign brain working on it right now. You said tech. I mean,
Like
gosh,
technology.
I was thinking about A thumbtack. Does she need a thumbtack right now? Well, anyway, that's my foreign thing working on, but it came through. Yeah, first of all, you need to surround people. You need to surround yourself with good, encouraging people because you can't do everything. We're all therapists here. Our specialty is actually taking care of patients and bring out the patients and bring out the best in them. I mean, not all of us know how to open up a website. Not all of us know how to, do WordPress or whatever, or Kajabi or whatever you call that. So the key here is finding people and learning how to delegate those difficult job, and you do the best. You do what you do best. So just like being a therapist, you do the evaluation, you do the discharge, you do the reevaluation, and you delegate the treatment to your assistants or to your techs. Same thing in doing our business. If you want to open up a website, don't mess around with it if you really don't know. Delegate it. Find somebody that is really an expert on how to do it, and then you do what you do best. Like if you like writing, do the writing. If you like creating a course or talking right in front of an audience, do that, and then delegate the tech to your VA, your virtual assistant, or to anybody else that is really an expert on that field. Same thing with doing household work, or some mowing the lawn. So delegate it. Learn how to delegate so you don't die.
No, I think that that's great advice. A lot of new entrepreneurs are trying to do everything. They're trying to make the website, do Facebook Live, videos, all these different things, make the book course. And it's overwhelming
That's
and
right.
it's time consuming to learn because all these different platforms have a different learning curve. And that learning
Mhm.
curve can be very long. And so I think you're right. If you are the content, you
Mm,
focus on the content, and then have someone help you distribute the content, and it's a lot more scalable. You can
yeah.
live your life, you can not be burnt out, and then you can actually grow your business potentially faster than that. Exactly. No, so speaking of a virtual assistant, how did you find your VA?
I have actually two virtual assistants that works for me, and I found them through Upwork. I don't know if you know Upwork. There are a lot of other uh, freelancing website there like Upwork or Filipino Jobs online, filipinojobs.com or something like that. But I prefer doing the business with Upwork because it's so much user friendly,
Hmm.
and it's much easier to work around with it. You just have to find a really good one that will really actually uh, bring out the best in you too. Somebody who is knowledgeable enough, and somebody really uh, that will bring out the best in you too. Because if you get a cheap one, you get what you pay for. So if you get a cheap VA, you'll get a cheap result. If you get a good paying VA, you get a quality VA. So same thing with the therapy world. If we if we give a really low salary to your therapist, guess what? They'll give you a crappy job. Same. So just like hiring a VA. So I recommend going to Upwork or even Fiverr. I don't know
Hmm.
if you've heard
Hmm.
Fiverr. I get some, small jobs there, like creating logos or creating T-shirt stuff or for your merchant account or whatever.
Now,
Posting.
when you hired the VA, did you go through an interview process with them? How did you, or an onboarding process?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
there's a series of questions on Upwork. You can, check there. Hey, this I want somebody who is locally based here in the US. I want somebody based in India or based in the Philippines or based in here and there. And then you also want to screen if they are really good in their job, because previous bosses can rate them there. I don't know if you've hired there.
I've
Uh,
not. So, but I think it's extremely important for people to know how to hire a VA, because I think that's one of the barriers to probably
mhm.
scaling businesses, that people want to hire help, but they don't know how to hire help, and they're afraid that they're going to hire the wrong person.
You know what? The one thing that I really notice is that we have a hard time letting go and trusting other people. Letting go and trusting other people of your email account or your Facebook account. I'm like, so I don't want somebody logging into my account. I mean, you don't have to. There's technology for them to come in and log into your account that they don't have to see all your messages or something like that. And that's the purpose of having a mastermind group. They will teach you the step by step. Hey, this is how to hire a VA. This is how you look for a VA. This is the apps that they can use so they can access your account, they can access your credit card stuff, they can access your Amazon stuff, or whatever your website, without you being worried that they can read your emails. I mean, they can read my emails. I have nothing to hide anyway. So they read my emails. So they're the one who's replying. So if you're not if you are a good person and you have nothing to hide, I mean, you have nothing to hide anyway to your employees. So, yeah.
Okay. Two more questions about virtual assistants, because I know this is something the listeners are going to be very interested in, if not now, then
Hmm.
later in their business. You said something about cool apps to connect them to various accounts. Can you spill the beans on one
Oh,
cool app you
yeah.
recommend?
There are a lot of apps that we use. One thing that my VA, that's the reason why really need to hire a good VA, because they'll be the one who will tell you what kind of app that is applicable to your current situation. My first VA, she wanted me to use Todoist. So that's a Todoist app, wherein I send her a link to my Todoist account, and then she'll do it. So Todoist. Now my new VA right now, her name is Tasha, and she wants to use Asana because it's a very complicated uh, Todoist system. So I don't know if you've heard that. It's called Asana, Asana, and
Okay.
there are a lot of what do you call this? Windows that they can check if they've done this part of the website, or if they've done this emailing thing. So it's a very good app for them to do. So it needs
Great.
to be the VA needs to know the app, and then they train you, us. So they need to be really adept in all those app before you hire them.
Okay, so there you go. That's the screening process. So whoever's listening, make sure that your VA is knowledgeable in some sort of application or some sort of process to make sure that you are more streamlined. If you're spending all your time teaching the VA, then
Oh,
your
yeah,
business is not growing, and that's not
that's
the
right.
point of the VA. The VA is there to guide you and help make you more productive.
That's right. Hmm.
Um, Last question on the VAs. What are some typical tasks you would assign to a virtual assistant?
One of my VA, she does all the calling for me. She calls all the patients for me. Hey, Dr. Mike will go there to your house, et cetera, et cetera. He'll come in around this time between 9 and 11, and then she'll put all those schedule on my Google Calendar. And I mean, I can show it to you. There's patient's name there. I was supposed to show it to you. Anyway, and then she'll put down the names there and put down the instruction. Hey, she agreed between 9 and 11, and this and that. So that's one of the tasks that you can assign to them. Another task that you can give is actually creating your website. Obviously, Facebook pages. So those are one of the things that you need to find on your VAs. They should be really knowledgeable when it comes to social media, and really personable, actually. And sometimes I really like them because they will be the one to call my patients. I don't have to worry about calling them every now and then. So that's really good.
Definitely. No, it seems like it takes a lot of the small tasks, the simple tasks. So think of any sort of simple task you could do that doesn't need a lot of clinical skills
Yeah.
or a lot of really important decisions. So the small decisions, the emails, the phone calls, just the simple messaging, scheduling that you can assign to a virtual
Yep.
assistant.
Hmm.
Awesome.
That's right.
Now, I want to go to growing your business. Now, you are what I consider a Facebook Live master. You do these short little Facebook Lives. If anyone hasn't seen it, you can go to Dr. Mike Chua's Facebook group and our Facebook page, and he does little snippets on helping you understand how to care for people with dementia. So, Mike, you have to tell us your secrets to your car setup because he does it in his car.
Really? Yeah, I do it in my car. Well, first of all, a lot of people would ask that. Why do people do it in their car? First of all, it's quiet. It's enclosed. You got a good uh, background enclosed thing there. And secondly, most of the time you get all those crazy ideas when you're driving. I mean, when I'm driving, I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening to Debt Free PT podcast, Therapist on Fire podcast, and it gives me inspiration right there and then. And then when I'm listening to that, oh, I said I got to share this to my group, to my listeners, and I try to not really twist, I try to correlate it for my target audience. So if that website group or if that Facebook group is talking about dementia, and I try to correlate it with dementia patients or dementia caregivers, and everything is more like interrelated anyway. If you're listening to a church podcast group, and you can apply that uh, advice to a caregiver group. If you're listening to an inspirational Michael Hyatt or Dan Miller podcast, you can actually apply that to whatever. Just try to change the words and encourage them. So
No, I think that's great. I think a couple takeaways from what you just said is have multiple social media platforms. You have
hmm
your website, but you also have Facebook, and now you're branching out into the Facebook Live videos, which are very high ranking, and then finding inspiration from other people and finding it in books, podcasts, and being creative with how you can spin that to your target audience.
that's
I think
right.
that's I think
That's
that's
right.
I think that's very, very creative. I want to move now into two more topics. So I saw on your website that you also do coaching and telehealth for patients and family members that have questions about dementia. Can you describe how you came up with that idea and the process?
Actually, I partnered up with Blue Jay Telehealth. Uh, they made me like a regional sales manager, whatever, here in Tennessee. Unfortunately, I haven't done any sales for them yet because I just can't focus on it. Hello, if you're listening, the president, if you're listening, I haven't had any sales yet. But the original goal was for me to just get the software and pay them monthly, because I'm using Zoom like what we're using right now. But when I Googled, actually not Googled, but when I attended the SSPT Nation, I don't know, I'm plugging it in, Greg Todd, Smart Successful Physical Therapy Nation. When I attended that mastermind group, they offered uh, the Blue Jay Mobile Health because it's really a fancy uh, mobile thing for physical therapy. There's an artificial intelligence and everything. So I said, instead of me using Zoom, regular calls like this and recorded calls, I said, let me try that. And that's what I've been doing now, using that. But actually, I haven't used it for the AI because I don't I don't do an online consultation. I just talk to them like this,
Yeah.
like a casual conversation. Nothing really physical therapy connected. Nothing shoulder range of motion, no knee range of motion thing. So I think I'm gonna go back to using regular Zoom because it's uh, you know easier to use. But the good thing about that Blue Jay Health is that there is that AI. So
Mhm.
if you guys need to, if you're an outpatient clinic, check out the Blue Jay Telehealth. Hmm.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Tech advice there, and I think it's just one more example of how you can broaden your reach. You went from a book to a course and a website, and then now to coaching. And I think maybe you just need to hire one more VA.
Some other therapists, that I forgot that group called, um, the telehealth group.
Yeah. With Rob
Anthony and
Vianney.
Rob, they're doing good. And I think, I don't know who posted it. They said that they're sending some tech to do the therapy with them while they're doing the actual video conference. So that's much more affordable. So that's a good extra additional service that you can give for your outpatient clinic. So,
Definitely. I
mhm,
think branching into telehealth and coaching and consultation is
mhm,
that's the next wave. That's how we as therapists either become solo entrepreneurs and branch into our own business, because the startup costs are so minimal. You just need a computer. We all already have a computer.
yep,
We all already have earbuds or
hear that.
headphones.
Yep.
And that usually can be a very nice mic. You don't need a special microphone.
No.
You've got the setup right there, and then you just need a little software that has maybe HIPAA compliant
Yep.
software, and you've ready to go. Versus the startup cost of an actual clinic, you have rent, utilities, secretaries, the overhead. So telehealth and coaching is the wave of the future. I
That's right.
100% I
That's
100%
right.
perceive.
One of my good physician friend here in a hospitalist, he said he's earning more doing the calling patients over the phone. It's called teledoc. He uses
Mhm.
teledoc software to let me turn that off here, to to do consultation. He said he's just at home, so
I would love to work from home. That would be pretty nice.
that's our dream job, right?
That would be my dream job. Yep.
Mhm.
Amen. Amen. Now, tell me a little bit about how you became the Chief Inspirational Officer for TN Therapy Outsource.
Our goal for that TN therapy outsource is actually to provide the staffing services to home health agencies, which I'm doing right now. I'm doing home health for different offices for different companies, and it was, what's his name? I forgot. He's gonna get mad at me. Bert De Vera. He's my coach when it comes to this to that business. Basically, the concept is you provide staffing services to different agencies, and you do the eval, I'll do the eval, and then you send your PTAs to the treatment. And that's where the money comes in. You know, you're earning money passively when you're sending your PTAs. So you're basically, you know, billing the same amount of per visit every time your PTA is, you know, doing the visit. So you're earning money from there. So you don't have to worry about uh, what do you call this, dealing with Medicare, because it will be the agency who will be dealing with insurances. You're basically just doing staffing for that agency.
You're just basically finding the therapist and then finding them a position, and then
Mm-hmm.
you get a small portion of that.
Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah.
yep. Mm-hmm.
Is that hard for someone maybe interested in a staffing agency or interested in that? Is it hard to get started in that route?
No, there's nothing hard if you focus on it and you wanted to do it. You know, I think that's the only limitation that we have as a in general as a in our therapy realm. A lot of people are just afraid to get out and branch out and get out of the comfort zone. We're so uh enclosed in our comfort zone that we don't want to get out and start our own business, or write a book, or or whatever. You know. So I think that's our goal here, you know, just getting out of that comfort zone. Who would have thought I'll write 3 books and I don't even know how to speak English well? You know, who would have thought I'll speak in front of, you know, hundreds of people almost every month. I talk to different assisted living and nursing homes, and because I just wanted to get out of my comfort zone. So there's nothing really hard, you know, starting. I mean, it's just Google. You got a VA to help you out.
Google and VA. Those are the
Yeah.
two things. Those are the two things. And you're exactly right. Like, we put limitations on ourselves every day. Take
Mm-hmm.
those limitations away,
Yep.
and then you just see where it goes. Trial and error.
And
You
then
know, it
we'll be
doesn't have to
debt
be perfect.
free.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So, what are some of your greatest highlights from all your various entrepreneurial and in different businesses? What would be some of your highlights?
The greatest highlights is actually the failures. And, it's, I mean, having a business, opening up a business, coming here in America, it's not always fun. It's not all, what do you call that, roses or whatever, or beauty and whatever you call that in the American language. But the highlight is actually the failure, because once you failed and learn how to get up, that is where the highlight is. It's not how many times you failed or fallen or got bankrupt or whatever. It's how many times you get up and do this all over again. And that's our that's our challenge for everybody who's listening right now in this debt free uh, podcast, the Therapist on Fire podcast. In order for you to be on fire, you have to go down first and fail, because that's when the actual real success comes in. So, yep. So that's the highlight of my career. I failed a lot. I was rejected several times. I was, yeah, I failed a lot. I failed all the English exams. I failed uh, NPTE. I failed. I got rejected to come here in America several times. Got refused a visa. Uh, I got. I haven't been fired. But I got rejected in job interviews. And if we as therapists, and stop trying to push forward, we won't succeed. Same thing with our patients. If you're a therapist, you're listening right now, you're a therapist, obviously. If you try one technique to your patient and it didn't work, will you stop? For example, you're doing range of motion and stretching, and that didn't work, or what kind of manual therapy, and that didn't work. Will you stop? Will you discharge that patient? No. You'll find a way how to take care and try to compensate and bring out that best in that patient. And same thing with trying to be debt free. Same thing with trying to start up a business. Don't let it stop you. Just keep moving forward, and that will be the great highlight of your career.
Massive, massive statement right there. I agree 100%. I think everyone is saying no to you every day. And a lot of people can start getting that in their head, but you have to change your mindset and don't listen to anyone else. When you're starting a business, there's going to be a lot of failures. There's going to be a lot of people that are maybe not supporting you how you want to, whether that be family and friends. And it's a lonely business, and that's why I think you need to have the mastermind or mentorship to help guide you. But don't let those no's stop you from moving forward. I
Hmm.
agree. And look where you are, Mike. I mean, you've came through so many obstacles. I can't believe that. And that now you're here, multiple self-published author with a course with many different businesses. So, I mean, you're the example of don't quit, don't stop.
Well, thank you. I feel like but I'm not. We're just all the same here. We're
Yeah.
all regular therapists trying to survive and be debt free.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Hmm.
So I know that you juggle with working as a therapist as well as the many businesses. And I know a lot of entrepreneurs, when they start, they're doing the same thing. They're trying to juggle being a PT, OT, speech therapist, or whatever therapist they are, as well as trying to run their business. Do you have any tips or advice for someone that is managing working full time and also running a side hobby or side business?
The key here, we already talked about it earlier. The key here is learning to delegate. If we don't delegate it, it'll be very, very hard. So, just like if you're working in an outpatient clinic, you got the receptionist, and then you've got the biller, you got the PT assistant, you got you as a evaluating therapist, and you cannot do it all. If you're gonna do it all, you're just gonna burn out and you're just gonna give up. If you are a starting entrepreneur and you want to start your own business, you have to find ways on how to delegate the simple stuff. Find a VA, you know find somebody that will answer the phone. I mean, it doesn't necessarily to be a actual person. You can have Google Voice to answer your phone, or some or whatever. I have this app called Sidelines. It answers the phone and texts the patient automatically. I don't have to worry about it. So yeah, that's another tip there. Sideline
Mhm.
app. So it's free, and there's an option there. You can have your VA answer it, or you can have somebody answer it for you. So yeah, learn how to delegate.
Delegate, definitely, definitely. And then one last question. I know I've asked a lot about advice, but one more advice question. What advice would you provide to those thinking about journeying into starting their own business or starting their own self-published book or course? What would be your advice to new entrepreneurs?
The advice, we just got to go back to Michael Jordan. Just do it.
Just
Just do it. If you're stressed out and burnt out and want to get out of whatever your situation right now, just do something about it. If you are not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. If you're just complaining and complaining about all this stuff, about your life, about how stressful Medicare is, how stressful insurance is, TRICARE, Humana won't pay for this and that, and you're not doing anything about it, you just get stuck there. But if you just find a way and just do it, find a good coach, find a mentor like Emma Shapiro, or whoever, find a good group that will bring out the best in you. And that's it, just do it. Because if you find a good group that will be a what you call liability partner, and they will call up on you, they'll call on you, hey, what's going on? I mean, where are you at now? And they'll tell you, just do it. Same thing with when you're treating your patients. You're bringing out the best in our patients, right? For example, hey, your knee range of motion is still not normal. What are you going to do? Are you just going to look at it? No, you just do it. You just tell them, hey, just do it. Do your exercises, do your home exercise program. We're all a coach here. We're all therapists and coaches. But the key here is you may be the best coach. You may have the best coach that you hire. Emma can be the best coach in the world. I can be a good coach for you. But you, as the player, you actually have to hold the ball, catch the ball, hold the ball, and actually shoot it yourself. And that's where it comes in. You just have to do it, shoot that ball, and be that therapist on fire.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. So many great tips, advice, technology. Amazing. Where can people reach you, Mike, if they want to learn more about you, if they want to learn about your book, Misunderstanding Dementia?
Awesome. Yeah. They can reach me out at my website, drmikechua.com. If you've got any patients or clients who are suffering from dementia and they need a free ebook, they can download the free ebook on that website. It's free. Obviously it's free. If they want to read it on Amazon, I think it's $1. Or if they want to actually buy the paperback, it's just like $3. I don't earn anything from it. Royalties probably a cent or two. It's just the print cost. And the course is actually $37 if you need, uh, if you have a patient who really needs it, just shoot an email to Emma or me, and we can give out a free course on it too. The goal here is to not really make big money out of it. The goal here is to help out other people and bring out the best in them. I know it's still a business, but when we help, enough other people get what they want, we get what we want. So that's our goal here. So
I agree with that. Thank you, Mike, for being so generous with your ideas, with your time, with the book. And I think that's so kind of you to provide the book and the resources for free for patients and for family members who really want this, because that information, it's really life-changing for them. Definitely. I'll put all the links below in the show notes. And I thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure, Mike.
thank you again, Emma. Appreciate you. And go Therapists on Fire.
I've enjoyed this episode of Therapists on Fire. As a special gift to the first 50 listeners, you can use the code FIRE to get 50% off of Mike's course on understanding dementia. Just go to drmikechuadpt.com. This course is perfect for any practitioner desiring to further their skills in treating patients with dementia, or if you are a practitioner who works with dementia patients, this would be a great course for those patients and family members to really help them learn additional strategies for care. Thank you so much for listening to the Therapists on Fire podcast. You can find the show notes and special offers for this episode and any other episode at debtfreept.com/podcast.